Hey, good morning. Welcome to week 8. This is the last week before finals, so we are finishing the book. So you're going to be reading chapter 15, chapter 16, and the epilogue and letter. So make sure you read all the way through it. Don't just read 15 and 16 and say you're done. You got to read all the way through because that epilogue and letter, they're super important. They give us the answers that we are looking for. And then you'll be doing the questions. So you've got vocab just like usual, and you've got questions set out by chapter. Um, these chapters, obviously, they're super interesting because the whole book wraps up. And I remember the first time I read this story, I definitely thought I knew how it was going to end. And boy, I was way, way off. So pay attention to, is the ending what you expect or not? In the end chapters, before we get to the epilogue, we're going to actually see one of the murders happen and we're going to know who did it. So pay attention to, do you think that person was responsible for all the other murders or not? So was that person the murderer the whole time or not? At the end of chapter 16, we are meant to be confused. Okay, so just keep that in mind. At the end of 16, you're going to be like, wait, what the heck? That was what? Keep reading, and it'll make a little bit more sense. Because in the epilogue, there's two policemen that come to the island to do an investigation. We'll see what they find, and there's one piece of information they find that doesn't line up with what we know. Okay, so pay attention to what is that information, what could it mean, and then at the end there's a letter that gives us the answers we're looking for. So I really think you guys are going to like how this story ends. And then once we find out, because you will find out who the killer is, are you sympathetic to them? Do you understand why they did it? Do you think they were justified or not? Okay, so that's what you should be paying attention to. Next week, we've got finals. I'm actually going to post the final exam this Friday. That way you have the weekend to work on it. So if you want to get going early and finish that final, once you're done with that final, if you have your other work turned in, you are done with this semester. So I will post the final on Friday, the 16th. And then you will be free to work on that over the weekend. And throughout the week, it is due next Thursday. Okay. That final exam is going to be a series of short answer questions where you write a paragraph answering the question. It's not going to be a multiple choice test. It will be about the book. So be ready for that. The word of the week is Starbucks. So if you missed our meet this morning, email me the word Starbucks. I'll know that you watched the lesson and I'll get you credit for attendance.